Hello everyone. I'm going to do an updated mobile device slash cell phone collection. I'm not really sure what I'm going to call this video yet, but I figured I have acquired quite a few cell phones since I did my last one, which had to be at least a couple of months ago. And yeah, this is just a little side note. This channel is becoming a cell phone slash mobile device oriented channel, not because I kind of made that the plan, but that's basically what has been happening. I don't really have anything going on concerning computers very much, so I don't really have anything to make videos about concerning computers. If you have a request, I guess you can go ahead and drop it. Don't count on me doing it, but I would like some ideas. Just a disclaimer, this channel is turning into a cell phone channel, but I am letting that happen because I like cell phones. Anyway, moving on, before I ramble any further, we are going to go ahead and do the full cell phone mobile device collection. As you can see, I have quite a few. As you can see there, I have turned on every phone that would turn on. Most of these phones that I have here work, but a lot of them have dead batteries, and I'm too lazy to charge them all up just for this video. So I pressed the power button on every one that would turn on. Or I've pressed the power button, and every one that powered up, I left powered up. All the rest of them I don't really care. So I guess we're going to go ahead and start out with the modern cell phones, and then we'll work our way down. So yeah, this might be a little difficult because I'm getting messages, but this is the first phone. Obviously, this is my iPhone 6. I have done a couple of videos on this, obviously, and then I have the review video. So there you go, iPhone 6. And I actually have a list of all the cell phones that I'm going to go over because I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. So yeah, iPhone 6. Moving on, this is a new acquisition. I didn't make a video about this, but that's kind of why I'm doing this video. This is the Motorola Moto G. I had one of these before, but I kind of sold it, and so I bought another one. This one is from my good friend Hector. Go ahead and check his channel out. Actually, I don't think I have a link for that. Anyway, I bought this from my friend Hector. He might comment on this video, so there you go. Bam, Moto G. So these are the two phones I I obviously use this one, and then I sort of use this one. So these are the only phones I really touch. Moving on, I guess we'll go ahead and start up at the very top. I have a Nintendo DSi, which is actually kind of interesting that it still powers up. It's been sitting up here for like 6 months, yet it will still turn on, which is kind of interesting. This is actually the Japanese DSi. I do have a video on this, but I think it's on my old channel. Anyway, moving on, there it is, Nintendo DSi. Going down here, we have 5 iPods. We have the HP iPod from 2004. Doesn't work, got a dead hard drive and a dead battery. This is an iPod mini. I got this from my friend Manly. I believe this doesn't have a hard drive in it, and the battery's dead. This is an iPod Nano 4th gen, which I think works. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure this thing works. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, anyway, there is the iPod Nano 4th gen. Here we have an iPod Shuffle 2nd gen. Again, I think it works, but I don't think it works. Never mind. Moving on, this is an iPod Touch 4th generation. Well, it's mainly just a pile of parts. This thing is long gone. I got this from a viewer. So, yeah. Moving on. Down here is where it starts to get a little interesting. Here we have the iPhone only shelf. I actually have a whole shelf dedicated to my iPhones. So we'll go ahead and go from left to right. I have all the boxes for most of the iPhones. Obviously, iPhone 6 all the way down to the 3G. Here we have the iconic original iPhone, which was obviously just called the iPhone. And I've turned it on just for nostalgia here. So there you go, original iPhone, pretty interesting. I have the original dock and what I believe to be the original charger. So that's a cool little phone. So there you go, the original iconic iPhone that changed the mobile industry. There it is. Here we have an iPhone, well, this is another iPhone 2G actually. It's kind of just a parts unit though, it doesn't work. This one is an iPhone 3G. This is, again, non-functional. When you plug it into the computer, it's stuck in DFU mode. So, and I'm pretty sure the screen doesn't work. So, yeah, this was sent to me from a viewer and a friend named Jeff Kataska. You can go ahead and look him up if you want. Moving on anyway. This is an iPhone 3GS. This is actually just a case. I actually took the motherboard and the battery out of this. This was my friend's phone. He gave it back to me. Well, he gave it to me after he was done with it, and obviously, yeah, it did not live that long of a life. Moving on, this is my working iPhone 3GS, I mean, sorry. So, here we go. Here is, again, the iPhone 3GS. I'm not going to go into detail. I've probably made a couple of videos on this, so there you go. That's my second working iPhone. This is half of an iPhone 4, so there you go. And now we get to the good stuff. I'm going to try to make this video no longer than 10 minutes, but we know how that goes around here. I'm going to go ahead and open up my iPhone here, and we are going to get started with the two Dell Axim PDAs. This is an X30, that's an X50. I made a video on those. If you want to know more about them, there you go. Here is the Motorola Microtac DPC550. This is actually a pretty iconic phone. Actually, let me turn that off so it's not as loud in here. So, yeah, I got this at the thrift store, I think, for 20 bucks. It does work, but the battery doesn't last more than about 10 minutes. Obviously, it's pretty darn old. So, yeah, there we have a Galaxy S5 dummy. So, you know, just a plastic thing. Here we have the Casio organizer I made a video on about. So, there's that. This is a Nokia 5165. I got this when I was visiting Tyler 5310 back in Alabama. I think I got it for 50 cents. So, there's that. Going over here, here is the Nokia 6030. This was actually my first cell phone. Not this one in particular. Mine was silver and for T-Mobile, but the concept still stands. That was what introduced me to cell phones. I got it when I was like 8, I think. So, there you go. Moving on, we have a Nokia 6230B. I'm not sure where I got that. I think I got it at the thrift store, actually. It does work. There is the Nokia 6102i, which is actually the second cell phone I ever used. Again, mine was a different color and for T-Mobile, but there you go. Here is the Nokia 6086. This is actually my dad's old phone. This very phone was the one that my dad bought probably in 2007 or so. So there it is. Moving on, we have a Nokia 2366i. I got this from my friend Manly, Evangelista, just like the other iPod up there. That does work, I believe. This one is a Nokia 6263. Can't remember where I got this one. It's pretty old. Had it for a while. So there it is. Here we have a Samsung SCH-R350. This one actually does power on, which is kind of nice. Okay, so there you go. Samsung little texter phone. There you go. So, yeah, moving on. This is a Samsung SCH-A310. This thing's actually kind of cool because it has a blue monochrome LCD display. Although I only have the car charger for this thing and I haven't charged it in a long time, so it's dead. I unfortunately can't show it to you, but there it is. Here we have an LG KS360. I got this from the same viewer that sent me the iPod Touch 4th Gen. So there it is. This is an LG VX8800. So yeah, I don't think it works. I plugged it in. It doesn't power on. This is the somewhat popular LG Chocolate. Everyone had this phone back in like 2009. I mean, really. I don't think this one works either. I plugged it in, nothing happened, although it could be just my cable. Moving on, this is the original Firefly phone. This is actually kind of has a interesting story behind it. I actually had the second version of this, which looked more like a regular cell phone, but basically this is a phone for kids. So there you go. Going over to this side, I have two Motorola W175s. This one is actually an Italian version, so that's like Telecom Italy Mobile or something like that. But anyway, this phone does work. I was able to change the language back to English from Italian, but there you go. The second one, I'm not sure if it works. It might, but I haven't plugged it in to find out. This one right here is a Motorola E815. This is kind of the UI takes after the Razr. So as you can see, there's a user interface very similar to the original Motorola Razr. So there you go. This phone does work. So there it is. Moving on, we have the Motorola W376G. I actually did a video on this thing. So yeah, there you go. Pretty simple little phone. This is the Motorola Razr K1M. Nice little phone. I have a really old video from this, about this, not this specific phone, but this model of phone on my old channel. So yeah, there it is. And I've just looked at my SD card and it's about to run out of space, so I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I had to delete some stuff. Moving on, we have the Motorola Razr V3. This is for T-Mobile. This is just the regular Razr V3. So, yep, there you go. I got this from Manly Evangelista along with this one. So, there you go. This one doesn't work. It has a severed display cable. It's kind of just a display piece. Next one, we have a Motorola Razr V3C. I believe this is the Verizon version, but it doesn't have a back cover, so I don't know. This one probably doesn't work. It looks like it has water damage, and the battery is bulging. So, I think it's safe to say this one probably doesn't work. But, there you go. Moving on, we have the Motorola Razr V3 for Cingular. So, this is the original V3. This one's in pretty bad shape, but it is fully functional, so there you go. Yep. Next, we have the Motorola Razr 2 V9X. This phone also is fully functional and works. This is actually a phone that's very special to dear to my heart. I actually meant to mention this in the AMA video I did, but basically, it's not this specific one, but I got my first Razr 2 V9X in 2008, I think, when it first came out. And yeah, I used this phone for about 2 years before I ended up upgrading to an iPhone 4. So yeah, anyway, this is a phone that's very sentimental to me. So there you go, Razr 2 V9X. And moving on to our last two phones, which are both smartphones. This is the Sony Xperia Play R800X. This is the Verizon version, and I got the Verizon version because it runs full bone stock Android 2.3. So there you go, pretty cool. Yeah, I have a full video on this phone on my current channel, so if you want to check that out, you can. Next, I have the final phone. This is a Samsung Infuse 4G i997. I think I have a video on this phone. As you can see, the battery is about to explode because I haven't used this in a while, but it does run the CyanFox ROM, which is a fork of CyanogenMod, so it does have Android 4.4.2. This thing's kind of slow. It's single core. I believe it's only 1 point something gigahertz and 1.6 gigahertz actually. I actually overclocked this thing with the ROM I have here, so it runs at 1.6 gigahertz. Battery life is pretty horrible nowadays, and it only has 512 megabytes of RAM, so it runs really slow, and that's why I don't use it. But there you go. I got this phone from my friend Tyler5310. I bought it from him, and yeah. So that's why I like this phone, because it's from him. So there you go. And that is it. That is my entire mobile device collection. This video is probably about 15 minutes long now. So there you go. For those of you who cared, there it is.